Douglas Ross. Let's just start at what the First Minister said in that answer, and crucially what she didn't say. I hate to break it to the First Minister, but you can't be virtually identical. Identical means they are the same. So if they are virtually identical, then they are not the same. And there was clearly a difference for that to be accepted. But what the First Minister didn't say in her first answer or her second answer was sorry. Sorry to the people of Scotland who have been waiting for months for her government to step up and resolve these issues. It has been resolved now, but it should have been resolved far sooner because people have been struggling with these strikes since March. But the First Minister did accept that there will be disruption and inconvenience for people in Glasgow. And there is that real potential for disruption from protest groups at COP26 that risks public safety. Just this morning, Extinction Rebellion said they are planning deliberate disruption with the most impact possible. We all respect the right of protesters to express their views, but we cannot sit back and allow deliberate and dangerous disruption of people's lives. Will the First Minister reassure people across Glasgow that there will be a zero-tolerance approach to protests that disrupt people going to their work, including doctors and nurses and ambulances carrying people in urgent need of medical care?
First Minister.
Well, firstly, on rail, I think what Douglas Ross is really displaying here, if truth be told, is a real disappointment that the rail strike has been resolved, because he would rather have seen it continue. And he wants to know the detail again, given that he didn't check the detail before coming into the chamber today. The deals already agreed by the other unions consisted of, for the first year, 2.5% backdated for 2021, a £300 COP26 payment and a rest day working agreement. The deal agreed with the RMT last night consists of 2.5% backdated for 2021, a £300 payment for COP26 and a rest day working agreement. So that sounds to me pretty identical to the one that had already been agreed by 3 of the 4 unions. It's good news for those who travel on our railways. It's good news for the Scottish population, which is probably why Douglas Ross is so deeply irritated by it. And obviously, it is for Police Scotland to decide the appropriate approach to the policing of demonstrations. The Chief Constable, who I'll be having further discussions with over the course of today and tomorrow around this, has been very clear that there will be a sensitive policing operation that will do everything possible to facilitate appropriate and peaceful protest, but Police Scotland will respond to any protests that seek to break the law and, of course, disrupt people beyond what would be considered reasonable. People do want to come and make their voices heard. I think that is understandable, given the importance of the issues under discussion. But I would say to people looking to come to protest in Glasgow, do it peacefully and do it with a recognition that the people of Glasgow are agreeing to host this conference, are suffering some disruption because of that, so don't add to that disruption for them. But let's all get behind those who will be negotiating, I hope, a good outcome for the future of the planet.